All right. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Believe it's still 11:30. It's still morning time.
Wow.
And all we've done this morning, isn't that crazy? Now we hadn't doing much the last couple of days because yesterday we did some stocking up on stuff. We'll show you that here in a second. But today we have got ourselves a wonky contraption. This has got to be the craziest little solar setup I've ever done. And I've done a lot of crazy solar setups. But I was when I was putting this together, I was like, and we started getting the two panels on this thing. I was going, I don't know, Stephen, you might not be able to handle this. Was that wrong, or I'm betting that you can handle it.
I think I can.
You think you can? You think you can? You think you can? You think you can? All right, so let's show you what we got here. Now the reason we're doing this, and I prefer not to do this, but the reason we're doing this is because we're not going to open up too much more of a hole here in the woods. The hole, we're going to drop that tree right there eventually, and a couple, maybe this one and this one, but the whole point of this whole thing is the cozy little ambiance of a small hole in the woods with the cabin. And because of that, we're going to do our best to have our solar window, okay? Maybe. We didn't get rain yesterday. Maybe. Is that going to build up? But the idea is to be able to move it, because when the sun sets, beyond these trees, we want to be able to have the panels down here to capture the latest evening stuff. And in the morning, when the sun comes up, it's been coming up back over here, and there's a nice little hole right here. So he wants to maximize that window, which means he's got to work a little bit for it. And it might be that this thing just sits in one place and it tilts, and it might be that depending upon how much we got going, because we're getting him going with his freezer right now, and that's running there. We'll show you that in a second. But the idea is we got to keep your food cold, and we got to have enough daylight during the day to power what we need to do that the best we can. Now we've already found out that even in this kind of light, there's just about enough power, even because there's 750 watts right here. There's just about enough power to run that 80 watts, because this pulls about 80-90 watts on that little freezer. It's not much, but there is loss. So what we got was some really heavy duty. It's 10-3, but we're only using 2 strands of it. But this 10-3 heavy duty jacketed cable that's good for extension cords and stuff. It's quite pricey, $2 a foot. Yeah. So that cord right there cost you, it's 50 foot, cost you $100. But it'll pay for itself in the amount of power that we can get moving things around. All right, so you want to show them how it works?
What?
Yeah, show them. All right, you can do this, right?
What exactly you want me to do with it?
What exactly you want? What do you mean do?
It's facing the sun already.
I know. All right, but move it. Let's move it around and let's see. So before you move it, you're gonna pick the cable up and you're gonna get it up off the ground so that it's not dragging on anything, and then you can tilt it back. And he's handling this, so I got it set. I can put a cross brace in there if I need to, if it looks like it wants to rack, but right now it doesn't. All right, so let's pretend you're going to turn it towards the evening sun. Well, let's just say you wanted to tip it, so go ahead and tip it over.
All right, so it goes towards the evening sun.
Yeah, you can set it down. Yeah, and now these little legs that we got on here, there's just one screw, so we could turn it up and lay it down. But go ahead and pick up this end and let's move it over a little bit. All right, so move it down this way a little bit. Push on that other one. You're going to hit that stump. Swing. Yeah, you'll learn how to drive. All right, now back up, spin it this way. Pull that left wheel back to you. Turn it that way. Keep going. All right, now push it forward. Now see if you can miss that stump. Now pull it back some more. See, he can't see the stump that we're looking at. You're gonna have to learn the terrain here to where you're gonna pull it around. Now push it forward, or push the right side. There you go. I think you'll miss it. Come forward with it. There you go. Now turn. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Now we're gonna hit this stump over here. You're gonna have to learn where these stumps are and how to maneuver around them. But that's okay. All right. So.
I think it's good this way.
Yeah, well, it's doing good now. Tilt it down or just set it down, because we're still at about a sun angle like this, which is where that wants to be. Okay. It's heavy, folks. A normal 60 cell panel, and most house panels are 60 cells, which means they don't have these lower two runs right there. And this is a 72 cell panel. Normal 60 cell panel is about 42 to 45 pounds in that neighborhood. And this is a little bit longer, so it's going to be a little bit heavier. So we're talking, this whole thing's probably 110 to 120 pounds, including the boards and all that. Not too bad. This is the first time I've ever done a mobile deployment like this of solar panels. And maybe I could have gone with some 2x6s, but I was trying to keep it light. And you want to pull that little thing off there.
Yeah, where's my pliers?
I don't know what you did with your pliers, but you can use this screwdriver. Here, you pull that off. All right, so let me show you what's going on. So we've replaced it. We're going up into the house right here. And we got full sun on it, so you see we're running right there, 14.4. Let's get in here. Maybe you see it a little bit better. And as you can tell on there, here's 14.4, and we're pulling 110 watts at the moment. 0.11, 14.4. The batteries, can we get a light adjustment? No, it's not good for you. All right, I just got a message from T on the radio. Hey, tell her I'll holler back at her in a second. My other project. So, we go straight into the combiner box here. Normally I have the combiner box next to my array because I'm combining multiple strings, but we only have one string. Still wanted the breaker in here. And so we'll go from there, so number 10 into the charge controller. And I love these little charge controllers. You see that thing's slow flashing, which means we're fully charged. And then we got our two sets of two deep cycles, and like I said, they're the best for the money when it comes to amount of amp hours. Anyway, so I got, like I said, 2x2 configuration, and then we go into the cassette, and then out of the cassette inverter we got a plug that allows us to go into the house wiring, a standard house wiring system. It's all good and normal way to do it. And what else can I say? All right, so I left this wire long enough so that if I needed to, I can unplug and I can go out onto what will be the little deck that's out there and put a generator. So if I needed to, I could run a generator. Now this inverter is a little small for having a generator tie-in. You're not going to get that for this kind of money, where you can backfeed with a generator into this. Mine you can. I can take a generator and backfeed right into it. So we got a nice, very nice charge controller. We got a breaker between the panels and the charge controller. We got a disconnect, which is the Perco switch right there, between the batteries and the inverter. And because this is a small enough system, I did not go with a breaker between the I got everything breakered. Oh well. I'm trying to think of where I'm. Oh, excuse me. from the charge controller to the batteries. So, if I go with a little bit larger system, I will then put in a charge controller between the a breaker or disconnect between the charge controller and the batteries. But this system's quite small, so I'm not concerned about it. And over here, oh, it feels good. I'm gonna crawl down in there. That's getting cold. We need it to freeze. All right, so, and we've been shopping, and you can't see it real well because of the light. Let's see. Well, that helps. Turn the light on. And he's been stocking up on the stuff he likes. I don't necessarily agree with the diet, but you know, you do what you can. We've gotten quite a bit of canned tuna, canned soups. I've been telling him we need to learn how to cook, so we've been buying a whole lot of bulk seasonings for him. So we're learning. So he's got a homework assignment now, and you know, so stocking up on things like mustard and whatnot that he needs, and tea back there. So we got a big 50-pound bag of flour for him. So this is those two are flour, a 5-gallon bucket, and that other one. So he's going to start learning how to cook, how to season stuff, because we've discussed that this may not last for very long, and he's got to grow and produce and all that. So we're going to see how that goes. But anyway, summarization, my friends. We got a, you can't see it with the lighting. This camera doesn't like it. Hey, we got power. The next move, and let's turn this off. The next move for me is I've got this positioned, and you haven't seen it yet, but I got the wall thimble in, and the insulation, the piping insulation around that. I've got 2 primer holes, 2 test holes. I drilled, let's see, can you see it? Yep, right there. And where are you at? Can't see it. Anyway, it's dark back there. So drilling through cast iron isn't that big a deal. It's soft enough. I know I can get through it. And then I'll know my placement of where to run my 2 pipes out the back of the hot water jacket we got to build. So the next is going to be some PVC plumbing, getting the water filters in here, and then running our thermal siphon system around there, and then building our shower valves, because we could not find what we needed to, so we're going to have to build it. Oh, goodness. It's a lot to do for the day. Anyway, that's it for now. I've got to go address some communications on another project. It's about lunchtime. You ready to eat?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you eat, make your own lunch. You got cooking equipment, right? You can make your own. Anyway, then we just got just a few other projects to get done here. You see the OSB, the 2x4s, that will be for skirting this in, because we're going to have to insulate against the water line freezing. And then the deck, and then we've got a solar hot water panel to build, and that's going to be done. So we, in all reality, we've only got about 4 or 5 days worth of work. The question is how do we navigate that in the heat, and other projects I got to get worked on here and there. So we're going to try and get as much as going as fast as possible. Technically speaking, I mean, we're going to be done before 30 days worth of actual work, but there's been days we've not done anything because of the heat, and
Yeah, we're not going to count those.
we're not going to count those as actual working days. That's it. All right, so this video is officially long enough. Steven, sign us out. Bye-bye, folks.